Hi friends, welcome to webcam. In this video, I'm going to discuss primary key and foreign key in SQL. Okay, let's see how primary key works and what is the use of foreign key constant. These two are constants, okay, rules for the column, and how we can create primary key, what is the requirement, and how we can use foreign key, okay, and how this works. Everything will be discussed in detail. Okay, so basically these two keys are used created to create a relationship between two tables. So that is also discussed types of relationship in SQL tables. Okay, so let's create a table. Let me say create table, and I'm going to create a table called student. Okay, I will define create table. Table name is student. Okay, or student underscore detail. Like this, I can create table. Fine. I can have a number of columns like roll number. Yes, roll number is there. Obviously, roll number should be there. Then what I can do, I can say name of student. Then I can have a email, and then student must have a class or any other details like DOB. Okay, so these are the details we may have. Right. Here I will use varchar type for data also, so that it will not take, even it is not going to take much time. Okay. To insert. Email is also type of varchar. We can insert date type data into database using varchar. Later on, we can change the types. Everything is possible. Okay, but that is not our agenda to discuss in this video. Okay. So I will discuss primary key. So whenever you wanted to define a column, so that column should not have null values and it should contain only unique values. You can directly define. Okay, so here I don't want roll number to be in this. Okay, I will say this is what in roll number data type should be integer. Okay, and I can define primary key like this also. Let me create this table to see whether it is working or not. And yes, it got worked. So here you can see that table got created. And if I go to the DDL, you can see that there is a primary key constraint applied on roll number. Okay, fine. So we have created a table. Now I will try to insert the record. I will say insert. Okay, insert into what table? Table name is student underscore details. Okay, and I'm going to insert. And roll number is 1, let's say. Then name is A. Then email is a@gmail.com. Okay, these are the dummy records. And date of birth it is in a type of varchar, so you can write as you want. So I will say 15th December 2023. Okay, just for the demo purpose, I have created this kind of records. This, if you try to execute this will not get executed because you are supposed to say values in insert statement. And if I insert these details, yes, details got inserted. Since we have not received any error, I will say select. I will try to fetch the record. I will try to read the record. Okay, select star from. Okay, what is my table name? So table name is this. Now, if I execute this, we can see the record got inserted. One record got inserted. Now again, I will try to insert one more record with the same key, with same roll number. Okay, but other details will be different. You can say that it will throw an error. It will throw an error. Data I am not going to change, or you can change as per your wishes. Okay, I will set in this and execute. What is the issue? Duplicate entry, right? So as I said, when we apply primary key constraint on any of the column, that column will not accept duplicate value. And this is what happening here. This is what the error we are getting here. It says duplicate entry 1 for student detail dot primary. So for primary column, primary key column, okay, you are trying to insert a duplicate value that is not valid or that is illegal in SQL language. So you can't insert. So let me make this 2. You can see that it is getting executed. You can see now I have 2 records, right? If same thing I tried, okay, so what we have seen that data primary key constraint, when we apply, it is not going to, I mean, database is not going to accept the duplicate entry. Similarly, it is not going to accept the null entry. Okay, here I will define the columns such as name, email. I'm not going to insert the value for roll number, right? And B, instead of B I will say C, and this is what my C. Okay, so this is how I'm just trying to insert the record. Okay, and for null value to primary key column, still you will get a error stating that field roll number doesn't have a default value, meaning that if your column do not accept the null value, okay, it will check for the default value, and if default value is not there, it will throw an error, whatever the error we have seen. So here you can see that roll number doesn't have a default value. This is what the error we will get. Okay, so as I said, primary key. Okay, as I said, primary key do not accept null values and duplicate, right, duplicate values for the column on which PK stands for primary key constraints applies, or okay, applies or applied. Like this I can write. Right, so we have seen this part. Now I will insert a few more records. I will say 3 and C. Okay, let me see, C and 0, 5. Like this I can create a records 5. On next line I can insert another record, like 0, 1, A, B, C, D. Here also I will say D, and I will change this roll number to 4. Okay, this is applicable only for the roll number column. If I try to insert the same record, with the new number, so here we can see that B record for the B we have already inserted. It will not throw error if roll number is new. Okay, and this is how my database has 5 records now. And out of this 5, I mean, the roll number is primary key, and we can use this roll number for the another table. Okay, so how we can use? So let's say if I wanted to create another table for student marks, okay, for student marks, suppose if student is not enrolled, if there is no student registered in my table, that student, it should student roll number, okay, should not be there in my another related table, right? So all these data, whatever the table I am going to create for inside the student database, okay, all these data are for the only students, only for the students who are exist or who are registered, who is available inside this student detail table. And I would like to put the validation. Okay, I would like to put the validation. My table. Okay, let me create a table first. My table called student marks. Okay, my table called student marks should not accept the record if the roll number is not exist in student detail table. Okay, and this is where foreign key, comes into picture. This is what the use of foreign key, to put the validation. Okay, so I will create a table, roll number integer. Okay, fine. Then it is type of integer. Then I would like to have the marks for the subjects. So I will say subject of what we can say the type of data is varchar. I will say, sorry, 100. On next line, I will say subject, okay, and marks. This is how we can have a table, another table, which is dependent table, which is a dependent table. Okay, let me say, okay, which is a dependent table, and the table which is depend on student detail. Table depends on student details. Okay, I have created a table. So now what we can do? So this table, student marks table, can be okay, can be called as can be called as child table. But I forgot to add the foreign key constant. Okay, I will add the that constant in a minute. I will drop the table and I will add. Okay, how to add constant? You have to give the comma and you are supposed to declare foreign key. Okay, foreign key. And what is the foreign key? So I will say roll number is my foreign key. It is going to refer. Okay, so I will say references. Obviously, every time it should check. It should check with what? It should check with primary uh, column values, primary column values. And what is my primary column value? So it should refer student details roll number. It should refer student details roll number column. Okay, so this is how we can create tables first. So let me say stored marks. In error, I created a table. So I will say drop table. I will drop and recreate. Yes. Now, if I execute this, okay. Okay, something went wrong. Okay. Foreign key, roll number, references, okay, it should be yes, references. And if I execute, you can see that table got created. Now if I try to insert the record into the student mark, insert into stud marks. Okay, and what I'm going to insert, I'm supposed to insert values, right? Yes. If I insert marks for student who is having roll number 1 for the subject Marathi and who has got 80 marks, in its a subject. Okay, if I execute, I will say star from student marks. Okay, this will show me the records. One record got inserted. Now, as I said, if I try to insert the record, okay, for the roll number which is not exist in student detail table, right? So we don't have a roll number called 6 in my student detail table. And if I try to insert this record, it will throw an error. It will say cannot add or update a child row, right? A foreign key constant fails. Okay. A foreign key constant fails. This is how it works. And the table which has primary key constant, which has primary key column, okay, that table is called parent table. This is how it's going to work. If primary key is there, we will call it as a parent table, and if foreign key is there, we will call it as child table. We will call it as a child table. This is how it works. Now, if I try to fetch the record, my records did not got inserted, right? If I use, okay, another number, another student's roll number, and if I try to insert the record, yes, it is going to accept the record. Okay, it is going to accept the record. For the same student, we can insert the marks for another subject called Hindi. Yes, we can insert. Okay, and now I will say English. Okay, I will say English. So for the one student who is having roll number 2, we have inserted marks for 3 subjects. We have inserted marks for 3 subjects, right? So how many records are there in parent table, right? So for roll number 2 in parent table, in parent table means the table which has primary key, right? How many records are there? Only 1 record are there, right? Versus how many records we have created, we would be able to insert into the child table. Child table has many records for 1 row, right? This is not about 1 row. We can do it for any number of roll numbers, any number of records. So this kind of relationship between 2 tables is called one-to-many relationship. Okay. In case, suppose if you have many records, I don't think so that is what possible, because primary key is not going to allow you to insert a duplicate. So we will not have. So this is what a relationship. So there are other types of relationships. So there depends upon the situation. This is kind of relations get created between the table when you are trying to design the database. Okay, a relationship. What we can say that many to 1 is my another relationship. Okay, I'm just discussing types of relationships that we can create. Then 1-to-1 relationship. Yes, relationship and relationship. And at last, many to many relationship. So these are the 4 types of relationships. That is what created in the database. Okay, yes, this is possible. This is also possible, but the issue is now we don't have situation in front of us. So we did only 1 type of relationship here, 1-to-many, right? Yes, 1-to-many. And yes, we can create other types of relationships also. But now I would like to show you how to view the relationship in MySQL Workbench, or how to view the relationship in MySQL. So what we have we have created a relationship, 1-to-many relationship between these 2 tables. What is my table name? Student mark and students detail. How to view? Okay, let me go to the home tab. Here you have to go on these icons. Okay, modeling, and here you can see that there is an arrow. You have to click on that arrow, then select first option, create EAR model from database. The moment you say it will ask you for the next. Okay, you just click next. It will prompt for the password. Whatever the password you have, you can enter. The moment you say, then you have to say next. And then here you have to select the schemas. What is my schema name? Student is my schema name on which I would like to generate a relationship view. Okay. And now next, I will say finish. So here, right, you can see the tables relationship, okay, or schemas relationship. So if I click on this, we can see that these two tables are connected to each other based on roll number, right? That is what my primary key and foreign key. Primary key and foreign key. See these two lines, two horizontal lines we can see on the student detail tables. Okay, on the line, connecting line. So this is the indication of one. So it says that student detail table has unique records. Unique records. Okay, and here you can see that something like triangle on student marks table where these lines are connected. Okay, so this triangle is nothing but a many records. It's a type of many record. Okay, so this kind of relationships got created whenever we use primary key foreign key in between multiple tables. Primary key foreign key in between multiple tables, and this is how we can view the relationship in my SQL. Yes. Now, suppose if you try to, what another use of this primary key foreign key? If I try to drop the drop the table, I will say drop table. Okay, drop table. And if I try to delete the primary table, primary key table or parent table, I can say, I will say student underscore details. Details. Okay. And if I try to delete this, okay, what error you can see that cannot drop table student details reference by. Okay, since this table is in use, you won't be able to delete this. You won't be able to delete this. Then how to delete? Either you can delete the constraint, or first you need to delete the child table. Then you can delete primary table. Otherwise, it will not allow you. Even it is not going to allow you to delete the records from parent table, which is referenced in student marks table. Student, sorry, which is yes, which is referenced in student marks table. Let's see how we can delete. So I will say delete from student details. Okay, where I will say roll number. I'm just trying to delete the record for 101. Oh no, sorry, 101 is not there. It's one only. And if I try to delete this record, again you can see that cannot delete or update row parent update a parent row. Foreign key constraint fails. Right? It is not allowing to delete. If I try to delete for 3, since we don't have any record, so we are able to delete the details for the details from, okay, details from parent table, whichever value or whichever record is not used in foreign key table. I mean child table, which is, so 3 was not used. So we were able to delete this. If I try to fetch this record now, select select star from student details. Okay, and if I try to execute, we can see that roll number 3 is not exist here since we have deleted. And why we are able to delete? Because we were getting error. Sorry, we were not getting error because this 3 is not used in its child table. If I try to delete it for the 1, definitely it will throw error because we have 1 used in parent. So it will say foreign key constraint fail. Foreign key constraint fail. How to delete the constraints? Okay, yes, you can delete the constraint. You can say alter table. Okay, so this is a command. Alter table is a command used for table modification, table schema modification. I will say student underscore marks. Okay, and I would like to delete, but before that, I would like to know the constraint name. Okay, constraint name I cannot see on this table. I would like to see the constraint name on this table. If I go here, you can see that this is my constraint name. So you are supposed to copy this, go to your SQL file, and here I will say drop constraint on this table. And if I try to execute this foreign key constraint, okay, student marks. Oh, student marks is not there. It's stud marks. That's why. Okay. If I execute, you can see that the constraints got deleted. Here we can see now. But if I open the fresh schema, you will see that no foreign key constraint is available. No foreign key constraint is available. And now this is how we can drop the constraint. Similarly, we can add the constraints. If you would like to add the constraint, you can add. Okay, what constraint table student marks? I will say add constraint. Okay, a foreign key. Foreign key. Okay, constraint name is this, and foreign key you are supposed to give. After this name, this is the name I would like to keep for the name. This is the name of constraint. Okay, and we are going to use roll number, right? Like we written earlier, like this references. What we are going to reference. So student details. Student details is what I'm going to reference. From that table, roll number column is referred. Okay, to create this constant. And if I execute this, if I refresh, yes, you can see that now this table got constraint added. Okay, this is how you can add or drop the constraint existing on existing table. Right. So I would like to conclude this video here, since we have completely discussed what is a primary key, what is a foreign key in SQL, how we can use that, how we can drop the key, how we can view the relationship between two tables, I mean modeling of data. Everything is discussed. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day.